Do you think our BMW M240 can rival with the BMW M2? I think so, and so does Joe. But firstly, we need to attend to the suspension. It's kind of broken. We purchased this BMW M240i. It's battered, bruised, and the front end is mangled. And I know what you're thinking, how the hell are they going to repair this car? But it's time to strap it up and get it back to the base to see how bad actually the damage is on our M240.
I'll explain.
What the flaming hell are you bought now?
I will repair it.
Okay.
That's what we're going to do. We're going to repair this.
Okay. Right, what an idiot.
What would it have cost in parts?
It would have cost dough. And now it's time to see how bad the suspension damage is. We're going to get down to it, strip it, and let's take a look. So guys, welcome back. We are attending to the BMW M240i suspension. You can see here, because of the damage, this bush here is absolutely blown out of its brain. The track control arm has just decided to say, I've had enough, I'm just going to snap it off and I'm going to brake. So we're going to basically remove all this. Now, we did briefly touch before on this shock. The shock absorber looks okay to me. You know, if it was more of a worse collision, like a really bad one, these can either pop or, you know, if it's really bad, get bent. But it looks okay to me visually. I also said about the wheel bearing, once we've built this all up and driven it, then we'll find out if the bearing is okay. Obviously, once we've got a wheel on, we can check if there's any play in it. But firstly, I mean, look at that bush. I'm just swinging it like that, and it's damaged. So we're going to remove this control arm. We're going to remove that control arm from there. Try and get some new ones and get them fitted. Let's go. So first of all, we're going to go ahead and drop this ball joint which is connected to the hub for the track control arm. Then we're going to go ahead and remove the front control arm, which has also got that bent bush which I'm trying to undo. It's very tight right up against the positive cable. I think it's moved slightly whilst in the collision. So once I've got this done, I'll drop this arm out. As you could see, the bush was absolutely hammered and bent out of position. Once this arm is dropped out of place, we will then move forward and replace the broken rear track control arm, and this should bring our steering into some kind of straightness. And there it is, the broken track control arm. This must have taken all the impact in the collision, and the poor thing is snapped in half. So this track control arm, as you can see, is snapped aluminium. The ball joint side of things, where it goes into the hub, because we're not on a ramp and we can't really get an axle stand under it to apply pressure on the underneath, it's actually spinning when I'm undoing the nut. So how are we going to resolve that? We've got a jack. So we're going to jack it up from underneath in the hope that it pushes the ball joint part of it inside. So when I undo it, there's enough pressure in there inside the knuckle so the nut comes off and off it comes. Let's try it. Okay, a bit more or not? Yeah, go a bit more. That's it. Yay! It worked! And there's the rest of your arm. These are actually this shape because they go into the subframe and into the bottom of the hub. Unfortunately, because of the impact, the bush has taken a right smashing. It's even tried to cry because it's got a teardrop kind of pattern in the casing. But this is the worst one. It's in 2 pieces. And now we need to get new ones. Steve! Steve. We need these. One is broken, look, in 2 pieces. I need these. Steve is our service manager. He's the one who orders parts.
Right, offside front, yeah.
Driver side front, track control arm, front and rear. Now when I was at BMW on the X5s, we used to replace these bushers, but we're not going to do that. The arms are cheap enough. We're not going to go genuine. I think you can get good quality OE ones, Steve. What do you think? Febby?
I know that, we do that,
Febby or Lemforder. They're cheap enough. You don't really need to go to a genuine one.
Can I, mate? Is it the upper or lower?
Upper and lower.
Upper and lower. On the front of the car.
So I'll tell you, the one that goes into the subframe looks like a banana kind of thing. Ball joint one end, bush on the other. Same with the other. I'll give you the part number. So. Look at it. TRW make these for BMW.
Who's TRW?
So they also do OE parts as well, which is a lot cheaper than genuine ones.
So you're basically getting the same one?
Basically getting the same one. If the part number marries across, we're in.
Is the radiator saved or have you got the other radiator?
No, there's 2 and they're both fact.
Holly?
Yeah. They're both fact.
Is that all the suspension that was damaged then?
Well, yeah, because once we get this arm back in place and it's straight and the bush is not moving around and we've got this rear control arm in, the wheel should sit there and this should give you a good indication of how bad the tracking and stuff is. But at least then, once we've got a certain weight, if we want to push it around or like take it inside and that, just stick the wheel on and push it in. So that's the parts ordered, they are on the way. The only thing we have to do now is literally wait until they arrive and then we can get back on the suspension and get these arms fitted. So finally the day is here, we've got the suspension arms, we're going to go ahead and fit these and hopefully have a straight wheel. So the arms have finally arrived and what we're going to do first, we're going to put the rear track control arm into position and just get the nut on slightly. Next up, we're going to get the front track control arm and slip it into the subframe. Then I'll slide the 18mm bolt through with a little help of a hammer just to guide it through, past the wiring, and I'll nip that up. But we have a slight problem. The front track control arm ball joint is now spinning when I'm trying to do it up with a gun. No problem. With the assistance of a jack, I'm going to apply upwards pressure onto the underneath of the ball joint straight into the hub. This will now allow me to tighten the nut for the front track control arm. Once this is done, we'll have a much more clear understanding of where the steering sits and what needs to be done to get it straight. Okay, so the suspension is now done, and as you can see, it looks slightly straighter. Obviously it's going to need wheel alignment, it is jutting out to the right a little bit, but it's been an accident. We're going to straighten it out. Already looking better, look. 2 arms are on. We need to go through and find out exactly what parts we need so we can try and work out some kind of parts list. Obviously you've seen the damage. This headlight's probably the worst one out of the 2. It's literally exploded. A bit of glue won't fix this, so we need 2 new headlights, 2 new wings, a bumper, that crash panel at the slam bar at the back. We're going to need this rubber shroud which houses all the radiators and everything. The 2 rads at the bottom either side. These bars, strengthening bars, which have taken the impact. There's a couple of brackets here, look. These literally like hold the casings together, and they slightly bent, so we're going to need some of that. Good thing with BMW, guys, they do leave part numbers on everything, so once we contact the main dealer or go on our real OEM system, we should be able to locate this very quickly, because they do send you like a blown up picture of everything, and we can look at that. And then we need to price up a rear quarter panel. I have got a driver's door in the pipeline, which I will show you soon. Okay, Joey boy, it's time to call BMW Derby. As many of you probably know, and if you don't know, now you know, I started my career out at BMW Derby. They've helped me throughout my career. They're actually business partners with us now. We basically buy parts off them.
Dan speaking, can I help?
Hi Dan, this is Imti from G-Tech, you okay?
Yeah, good mate, you?
We need a price for the front bonnet, 2 front wings, 2 headlights on the front, a bumper, a bonnet, you know, behind the bonnet where that slam bar is.
Yeah,
we're gonna need that, and all the little brackets and everything behind it with like the rubber cowling which sits inside, you know, where the radiators and stuff are.
I'll send them all on email, and then I'll attach an estimate with all the big parts as well, so you know.
Perfect.
And then I'll add bits to it.
That's perfect, Dan. I appreciate all your help, and I'll be back in touch with you shortly.
No problem. Thanks, Inti.
Take care, Dan. Bye.
Cheers, mate. Bye.
So there you have it, guys. BMW Derby. We've rang up. We've got the balls in motion. Let's see how much these bits are. If we can save, we will save. So, like, if the bonnet's 20 grand, it ain't gonna be worth it, is it? Ain't gonna be 20 grand, but you know what I mean. Like, if the bonnet's £1,200 and you can get one in a used condition for £100, I'm gonna try and save money. Okay, guys. So, all the parts for our M240 are ordered. Guess what? Rebuild time. Join us again for the next episode.